Hello, everyone. I did doing my oral presentation on Hurricane Camille, Monster Storm of the Gulf Coast by Philip D. Hearn. Um, Here's a quick timeline of the storm. It formed in Cuba and as a Category 1 on August 14th, 1969, and then on August 15th strengthened to a Category 3, and it was predicted to hit Florida originally, and then on August 17th, the Gulf Coast got the Category 5 storm um, a little bit before midnight on August 17th, and then the storm lost power about 24 hours, a little less than 24 hours of the past, and turned into a tropical storm, but still caused flooding in Virginia and some other areas along the way. Um, the preparation on the Gulf Coast, they had seawalls in place, and then there was a hurricane watch issued on August 16th, but only hours before landfall there was a hurricane warning issued for the Gulf Coast. And the book focuses on three coastal counties: Hancock, Harrison, and Jackson, the Mississippi coastal counties. And just a little fact, they only had 50% of Harrison County evacuated. Um, the storm, as I said, was a Category 5. It had a huge storm surge of 24 feet, which just breached the seawall, and winds up to 200 miles an hour. So basically, it's like a wall of water, and it inundated several blocks of the inland. Um, the aftermath of the of Camille, total Mississippi Gulf Coast death 172, which they only found 131 of the bodies. So 41 were missing, and then injured 9,000 people, damage $11 billion, which is a 2003 equivalent, and mentioned in the book. And then residential, commercial buildings, monuments inundated and destroyed. Here's a picture from the Gulf Coast during the storm. It's crazy how high the water was. This is some of the destruction. It's so horrible to see. And then I mean, even ships were inland, brought inland. You can see the power of the storm carried with it those 200 miles an hour winds. But policy changes. They had a new construction required minimum 13.2 foot base elevation. And then to get a flood insurance, you had to go build 21 feet above the base flood elevation. So they had adoption of floodplain ordinances. Wetlands Protection Law of 1973 was developed. A governor, right after the storm, Governor's Emergency Council was established, which revised building codes. Coastal Building Inspection Agency was formed, and they hired a consultant for economic development, but they didn't they didn't end up using the consultant's advice. And 1973, Gulf Coast early warning system was developed as well. Some of the problems, which I was kind of alluding to earlier, residents moved quickly to rebuild and did not follow the new building standards. There was also a belief that nothing would help if another storm of that magnitude had ever occurred again. Evacuation routes were not mitigated. And then gambling was legalized in the 90s, which caused an economic boom. But there was heavy development along the coast because of it. And now the Gulf Coast in the Mississippi area is highly vulnerable to another storm. And if it's hit again, it'll cost a lot to recover. Weaknesses of the book. It just kind of jumps from personal accounts to like history in different chapters, but it goes back and forth a lot. So it's kind of hard to follow a little bit, but at the end, it kind of all comes together. And you got so many personal accounts, it's difficult to follow who is who. But at the end of the book, it does come around. And the strengths of the book were the survivor accounts, helps the reader identify with the desperation of the victims. A couple of quotes, like this one here: if you can find a board or anything to hang on to, hang on to it. I mean, these people were in the water swimming for their lives. It was really devastating. And History and recovery was another strength that the book mentioned. Explains lack of preparedness through history, explains the lapses in adherence to regulations during recovery, and warns of future problems due to increased development and population in coastal areas. Here are my references. I thank you guys for listening, and I hope you all have a great end of the semester. Thank you.